Welcome to CEO Check-In. It is noon on Wednesday, so it's CEO Check-In time. And today I'm bringing on guest Bianca Russo, who is the CEO and founder of Positive Bootcamp. I can't wait to bring her on. Hi, Caitlin. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, Bianca, can't wait to bring you on in a moment. And if this is your first CEO check-in, the way we like to do these is I do a little teaching of a go big tip, and then I bring on our guest, and then if we have time at the end, we do some live coaching. I do have a lot I want to talk about with Bianca, so I don't know if we'll get there today, but if there's a burning question you have, either for Bianca or if you want live coaching, just throw it in the comments and we'll try to get to it. Before we start, I do just want to pay tribute to one of my heroes in the entrepreneurial world who passed away recently, Tony Hsieh, who wrote Delivering Happiness. This is the book that talks about how he built Zappos from a several $1,000 company into a multi-million-dollar success story that he sold to Amazon for $3 billion. But what's more important to me is that he was so intentional about building a really positive culture for his team. I actually went out to Las Vegas and visited Zappos. You could go visit for free, and saw how they created an environment that people love to work in and that put customers first, and where employees could put up on a wish wall things that they were hoping would happen, like I need a new couch. And then another employee could be like, oh, I have a couch I can give to you. It was just such a special environment. He had a therapist who came in to work with people. He also had a whole row of people who just answered Tony Hsieh's emails, which I really respected, that he took his customer feedback so seriously that he wanted to make sure every email could get answered, even if it took a team of people to answer them. So I want to pay tribute to him. And, we're not quite sure what happened at his death. He died suddenly in a house fire this past weekend. There's talk now of alcohol and drugs, and we're not exactly sure what happened. But, it's a good reminder that the entrepreneurial life is a tough, challenging life. We all know that, who've built businesses. And I was reminded of this quote that I like by Antonio Damasio, which is, we are not thinking machines that feel, we are feeling machines that think. We can sometimes get so caught up in the things we need to think about as entrepreneurs, right? Our cash flow, our people, our scaling plans, how much we're charging. But, if our feelings are not in line, if we don't feel good in our bodies, then the rest doesn't really matter. And I think Tony Hsieh was a visionary. He certainly had a big impact on my life and on many entrepreneurs' lives. I'm so grateful to him. I got to hear him speak. But, maybe he had feelings that he never quite found a way to get under control. I'm not going to speculate, but I just want to remind us all to look after ourselves, to look after each other. We are a community of entrepreneurs, not just here in Million Dollar Women, but the entire entrepreneurial community. And we've had many losses in the last few years, from Anthony Bourdain to Kate Spade. And it's just a stark reminder that entrepreneurs are usually really good at showing like, I'll be fine, and putting on that everything's going to be okay kind of face. But we know better as entrepreneurs that sometimes that's not the case. So especially this holiday season, if you have a friend who's an entrepreneur, or if you yourself are feeling down, reach out, because we all know what that feels like, and let's all be there for each other. All right. My go big tip today is to move your body. Do not forget to move your body. Just as we are not thinking machines that feel, we are feeling machines that think. We're also not a brain just being moved around by a body, right? Our bodies influence how we feel, our energy, what we think we can accomplish, and then our brains go do the work. So we have with us today Bianca Russo, who is a fitness trainer, and I'd love to hear what she thinks of this. But my go big tip today is move your body. Steve Jobs did all of his most important meetings as walking meetings. He would just get out of the office and take a long walk with someone. Most successful entrepreneurs have a physical routine they stick to, whether it's yoga or working out at the gym. I was just with my trainer this morning. Little call coming in, sorry. Maybe that was my trainer. He knows I'm talking about him. But so if you don't yet have your routine, or if you're thinking, oh, well, I don't need a fitness routine because I'm building my business and it's more important to answer these customer emails, please think again. You have to take care of your body, and your body will take care of you. So without further ado, I am going to bring on Bianca who has often been on CEO Check-In getting coached because she's in Million Dollar Women Masterclass. She graduated now. Congrats, Bianca. And now we're you and hear about your journey at Body Positive Bootcamp these last few weeks and months, getting through the pandemic, helping so many people stay positive, get their workout in. And you have a thriving community of people all over the country. It used to just be local, but now Bianca is able to work with people all over the country. And she specializes in helping people who have all different body types, all different fitness levels. It's a super inclusive, joyful community. And I can't wait for you to hear more about it from her. So we're just waiting for the tech to kick in here. Hey, Hillary. Hillary's also a Million Dollar Women Masterclass member. Hi, Winnie. Winnie was on our show last week. We loved learning from you about photography and how to build our personal brands through photography. Loving the pics that I did with you. We've been using them on the website. Hey, Rabia. Always great to see you with us. And let's see, who else is here with us today? Cosmod Fox. Let's see. We're going to bring Bianca on. We're not going to be put off by these funny little messages saying that internet cannot connect, right? We don't care about that. We're entrepreneurs. We'll find a way. Hi, Frankie Frigate. Hey, Alyssa. Great to have you all with us today. And let's on in a minute. In the meanwhile, I will share that part of what has kept me in a positive mindset throughout the pandemic and in building all my businesses, but it was really put to the test during the pandemic, is having a regular workout routine where I can stay in touch with feeling, positive endorphins flowing, getting that adrenaline going. There's really nothing quite like getting in your workout to have a great day. I often say there's no amount of caffeine that can make you feel as good as you feel just from getting in a 20-minute workout. If that's all you have time for, that's fine. And Alyssa, who works with me at Million Dollar Women, was reminding me that I should also remind everyone that even just doing 5 minutes can make a big difference. Maybe you don't have time for a 30-minute workout, but maybe you have time to do a 5 or a 10-minute or 15-minute workout. So please don't, put that off. I know that we sometimes think it's more important. There you are. Here the
Yay!
Yay! She made it. That's good because I was running out of things to say about fitness there.
I'm so happy to see you, Julia. Good morning.
Happy to see you too. I know. How you doing today?
I feel fantastic. I loved your go big tip of get moving. I totally agree with you on that.
Oh, thank you. But don't you think sometimes entrepreneurs forget that they have a body? They're just like working away. Do you find that like with entrepreneurs?
Yes, and we are not thinking machines that feel. We are feeling machines that think and need to move. Getting outside and walking helps us to literally change the chemistry in our bodies, and we can connect with our senses, what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we smell. And it's a really good grounding practice that I suggest doing daily if possible.
Thank you. And I'd be curious, do you come up with some of your good ideas for your business when you're like out moving or exercising? Like, do you ever have good ideas? Because I know I do. I'm curious if that happens to you.
I feel like when I'm exercising or when I'm out of my house walking, it puts air on the fire that helps to galvanize the ideas later. I think I need that time to clear my mind and to clear my soul so that when I do come back to my thinking desk, I have that energy to fuel it.
And that fresh perspective, right? Sometimes
exactly.
Just getting away from it a little bit. I love that.
The light bulb shines at random intervals, but it's definitely supported by a regular exercise routine.
And I look, you probably know more about this than I do, but I feel like I've read somewhere that like you get better blood flow, like even blood flow to your brain, right? From moving your body. Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. Oxygen travels throughout the blood. And so when you're moving and grooving and pumping the heart, you get more oxygen in the brain. And if you have injuries, that's one thing, but like I can't think of any disadvantage to moving the body.
Yes. And so many advantages in terms of mental health, right? And then like we're talking about getting new ideas and just feeling good. So Speaking of feeling good, you've been helping people feel good for a long time. You used to be an in-person trainer, right?
Yes.
And then the pandemic hit right when you were in our program, Million Dollar Women Masterclass, and you suddenly had to become kind of an expert in running an online community. Tell us a little bit about what that was like. What was that like in the early days of the pandemic for you?
Yeah. So I'm going into year 4, and this will be the first full year of working virtually. The master plan when I first became an in-person personal trainer was always to transition to be fully online so that I have freedom and flexibility to travel. So it was.
Got it. You just got a little help there from the universe.
I got a little bit of help by the pandemic. You know,
you're gonna make it happen right now.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess this is it. It was almost like the moment when my parent removed their hand from the back of my bicycle seat. Like, I guess I'm doing it, you know? So
completely. Well, I remember because you were in our program at the time, and it was like, but you just like got on it. So I am curious, was there ever a moment of like panic where you're like, how am I going to do all this?
Absolutely, for sure.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the panic was like, oh my gosh, is this really going to happen? How am I going to do this? And then, you know, you just open the door and walk through, and then you put a smile on and make it work. So I had to think a lot about the logistics of, value. The value to my customers in person is much different. I'm not going to say better, but I will say it's different than when I'm online. There were a few adjustments that I had to make price-wise, or, you know, this price versus this quantity of sessions had to change. I had to adjust. Luckily, because of the pandemic, people were extraordinarily understanding. And, you know, I just took a couple of days or maybe a week to freak out and, you know, feel funky. But then I just sat down, took a deep breath, wrote the emails and said, this is how it's going to be. This is what it is now. Things are different. Join me. Or not.
I love it. And you also created better technological infrastructure, I remember. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So I've always used the same scheduling system. And then I just adopted Zoom like everybody else. I made a couple of technological shifts where I include the Zoom link in the confirmation email that people receive a day before the personal training session and an hour before the personal training session, so that it's really easy for them to just click and join.
Oh, that's great. And what about your membership, or like how people bought classes? Did you have to change the way you did that?
Yeah, and that was actually something that I was inspired to do while in $1 Million Women Masterclass. You know, thinking about how to scale and how to grow. Previously in person, I was only doing in-person classes. Now that I'm online exclusively and forevermore, I have classes on Zoom that are not only taught by other trainers as well, but there are class memberships that people can purchase to get discounted rates on classes. And I love that system because it's an automated payment and it's easy for people, so they don't have to keep logging on and paying every week. They just set it and forget it.
Oh, I love that. Because I remember we had a talk when you were in masterclass, and I said, well, what do you think you're wasting time on? And you're like, well, these people's memberships are coming up and they're emailing me, and then I have to go check. And then I think you said, okay, that's it. I'm creating a better infrastructure. And you probably never looked back.
Absolutely. Automation is everything.
Automation and outsourcing. Are you a delegation ninja? I have to ask.
I am. Yes, absolutely. I love that, you know, the team that I have are so willing to work together with me. It's ironic because now that I'm online, I actually feel like I have a better community than when I was just doing everything by myself in person.
Oh, that's great to hear. It's funny enough, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, like, without overthinking it, best thing, worst thing about the new model versus the old model?
Oh, best thing is that I get to work fewer hours and make more money.
That's huge.
And stay home with my dog as much as possible.
And go out sailing. I know you like going out sailing.
Yes,
yes.
I did. And
getting out on the boat.
Yes, and I did have a season finale sail, and I thought of you because you were so kind to always ask. The worst thing.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Let's see. The worst thing is.
Like, do you miss in person at all?
There are aspects of in person that I do miss, and I would say the only like negative, like, to answer your question about the worst thing is, you know, I frankly miss walking to the bus stop and waiting for the bus and riding the bus and walking to the gym and seeing the people at the coffee shop and
just your whole going to and from work routine.
Yes,
I can relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm creating new routines, and when I look back, despite the, you know, global atrocities that we've experienced this year, overall, personally, there's a lot of positive to reflect on.
Well, and that's, you know, I think of you often when I think of these silver linings, right? Because for a lot of women in our community, they had a business model that wasn't that scalable. And then the pandemic forced them to go online and to think about scaling. And I think you're one of the people I always think of because you just jumped right on it, embraced it, right? And then B, who's Women's Repair Zone, she
Yeah.
too, you know, used to do local and then scaled up. Tell me a little bit about how being in our community helped you, if it did, with that process of having to make all these quick pivots.
Absolutely. So being in the $1 Million Women Masterclass community put me in a community. Whereas, like I said just a moment ago, when I was doing one-on-one personal training in person, it was just me and my clients. I was able to connect with Elaine and Winnie and B and like the
Winnie's on right now. Hi, Winnie.
Hey, Winnie. And I think Elaine was here. You know,
Oh, good. I didn't see that.
We had our nice accountability Zoom meeting. I think it was every other Friday, and we could shoot ideas off of one another. And Rika was a super friend that I connected with.
Oh yeah, out on the West Coast with the ice cream shop.
Yeah, and sometimes B and I even still talk on the phone or shoot emails back and forth to one another. So as a sounding board with like other women business owners, we were able to give each other advice, or, you know, what do you think about this? Should I do that? Can you read this email? And B and I even set up a collaboration where I featured her on my monthly newsletter and she featured me on her monthly newsletter for a couple of months. It was
I love that.
positive.
That's such a great example of a mutually beneficial thing, right? Because you're selling training and she's selling repair. The two are very complementary because it's people who want to, you know, get stuff done, right?
Yes, there's an intersection of our target market. I think that was what really inspired the collaboration.
Oh, that's great. Well, and that was my hope when you did the homework, you know, for the customer avatar in the marketing module, that it would just get your brain turning about, okay, where else is my customer hanging out? Because sometimes entrepreneurs leave a lot of money on the table by not creating partnerships with other companies that are selling to the exact same demographic, like you and B are, you know, some overlap there.
Right.
So tell us about what the business looks like now compared to what it looked like before, just for someone who hasn't, you know, been following your whole story like I have. What was your business like right before the pandemic, and what is it now?
Yes. So before the pandemic, the business was in person, running classes outside at the park, and also
Just you, right?
Just me.
Okay.
Excuse me. And also, I was doing 45-minute personal training sessions in the gym, a busy gym, lots of other people working out, classes happening concurrently while I was training, music blaring, me shouting, "What'd you say?" You know, like, it was very chaotic.
It seems surreal now, right? Like, did we really do that? We're really that close to other human beings?
Exactly. Excuse me, pardon me. Can I use that machine when you're done? Whatever. And now I'm online, and I have 3 domains of my business: personal training, virtual classes, and virtual class membership. It's so much more focused and individualized because all the pandemonium and peripheral noise and people moving around has been eliminated. I can zero in on my client, hear them, what they're saying, and they're able to train in the comfort of their own home. They don't ever have to wait for a piece of equipment to become available because I ask them in advance, what equipment do you have available at your house?
And I've watched the videos you post. I love the videos you post on Instagram of people actually doing these things, right? They're doing their planks. They've got their resistance bands. Yes. Like, you can do a lot at home.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. You can do so much at home. Even some of the people that I work with do not have any equipment whatsoever. So we work exclusively body weight movements or using something common like a chair or a couch or a towel that they have at home. So just to dig a little deeper into that, the virtual personal training, I do believe allows, especially the people in my the target market that I work with, which are primarily queer people who are in larger bodies. It allows them to have privacy and security moving their body without worrying about what the surrounding community may be thinking about them, looking at
another
them.
Silver lining, right? Maybe there are people signing up with you who wouldn't have gone to the gym. Do you think that's possible?
I 100% know for a fact that that is true. So going virtual has permitted people to become more easily empowered.
I love that. And thank you, because we need these stories of like why it's good that everything's gone virtual, right? Because I think some people have still been resisting it or resenting it or just thinking, oh, when will it all end? But it sounds like you don't have any plans to go back. Like you're sticking with this business model now.
Correct. It has always been the plan to go virtual. And now that I am virtual, we're sticking with it. I want to say also, I absolutely love Zoom because as opposed to teaching the classes in the park, it was, it was nice to hear the wind and the leaves rustle, but I didn't have control over the sound. Now I'm on Zoom and I can share my music and share my playlists with people and kind of curate the vibe a little more specifically. And it's just a lot more individualized.
That is so cool. And you guys just look like you're having so much fun. Again, everything you post on Instagram, it just looks like amazing. I want to say hi to Rosemary Day, who also just joined us. We have a big turnout today. You're very popular, Bianca.
Yay!
A lot of your buddies from Million Dollar Women Masterclass and just members of our community. If you have any questions for Bianca, throw them in the chat. It could be about your own at-home workout. It could be about how she created this robust online business, which now has, how many trainers do you have working with you? It's not just you.
It's me and 3 other trainers.
I love that, right? Because I still remember that day that you went out on the boat and you were like, I'm on the boat and other people are running classes. And I was like, yes.
Yes, totally.
That is what I want for you. And, just for fun, because we're here and people are probably wondering, like, what can you do at home? Is there like one thing you could teach us? Like, I'll do it. I'll be your little model. Like, what's one thing we can do at home? Because I was saying, move your body, right? That's the Go Big tip today. So if I were like in your class, what's one thing you could teach me that maybe people could take a little break from their computers and try today and think of you?
Okay, thank you for putting me on the spot. I really work well under pressure. Let's do this. Most people that I'm training are sitting all day, if not sitting more than they were. When we're seated at our computer, hopefully my phone doesn't fall down when I do this.
Yeah, I saw my trainer this morning and he was like making me do a lot of these because I told him I'm hunched over writing all the time, working on my book. So yeah, we need to counterbalance all this like computer time.
Exactly. So our shoulders are often rounded. Our 6-pack abs, your rectus abdominis are often shortened because we're slouching. So not only do you want to sit up tall and round your shoulders back, but we can really focus on doing chest opening movements with something like a towel that you have at home. Simply getting a towel, holding it at a wide grip and bringing it back behind your body and then forward, with the towel and that tension, you'll feel a stretch in your biceps, your shoulders, your pecs.
I love that. So just grab a towel and go front and back like that?
Exactly. So if I were holding a towel, I would just be going like this, and it would really start to open up the front of my body.
That feels good.
Yeah. And then this one, oh my gosh, if my phone falls, I'm really sorry, but I would like to demonstrate.
So far, so good. What else are we doing? Are we jumping? You're being very kind. You're not making me do anything embarrassing here.
No, I'm going to demonstrate. You can observe.
Okay.
This is the edge of my table. I'm going to demonstrate a shoulder flexion stretch, which feels really good when your hands are like this all day. So you place your hands on the top of a table or a dresser, kneeling. Push your hips back and then drop your chest toward the floor so that your ears go past your elbows. It opens up the whole front of your body and feels so good.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm totally going to try that later. I am not trying that right now.
Not right now. Hold it for 30 seconds. Breathe, exhale. As you exhale, sink into the stretch. It feels so good.
Amazing. Thank you. I love that. That's a really good one. And if people want to sign up for Body Positive Bootcamp, how can they find you, Bianca?
So follow me on Instagram. If you're here, follow me on Instagram. And then my website is bodypositivebootcamp.com. It's been redesigned. It's really easy to sign up for personal training or classes online. And shoot me a DM if you're looking for a discount code for new clients.
Oh, awesome. Yes, definitely get a whole bunch of people signed up for that. Because look, the truth is the winter's coming, right? Winter's coming, as they always said in Game of Thrones. And that means, more time inside. Some people have seasonal affective disorder, right? Where like the short days, the sun's been going down to like 4:15, right? The sun's gone. So I just think this is the time if people are thinking about, okay, how can I stay positive and motivated in this winter where we might still be on lockdown for another couple months or many months until the vaccine's here. I know for me, for my mental health, Bianca, it is like, I'll cut out everything but my workout. Right? Like, I don't care if I have to stay up till 2 a.m. I'm going to that workout because those days are my best days after I work out. Is that how you feel too?
Definitely. I think getting started is the hardest part, but that's where something like personal training can be extremely effective, because I'm your accountability coach. And the unique selling proposition of Body Positive Bootcamp is that I'm not a coach that's going to bark and yell and guilt you. I'm an affirming, supportive, like not toxic positive, but like very positive, optimistic person that's going to encourage you and text you and send you gifts and send you emojis, and hopefully that will
and play awesome music, because you do play awesome music. But I love that you said that, because when I signed up for my trainer at Equinox, I went and they gave me a trainer who was like this very kind of harsh, like military guy. And like I was doing the things and he was like, 4 more. And he would like put his fingers on my face like 4. And I was like, this is not working for me, you know? And I asked for a different person, and I got a trainer who has like this amazing disposition, and I so look forward to seeing him. Shout out to Rudy, you know, every Wednesday morning. In fact, I told him I was interviewing you, and I was like, what would you want to ask Bianca? And he actually said that for him, when he had to go virtual, right when shutdown happened with all his clients, that he was like a little resistant to it at first, like not excited about it. And but now he likes it. So he was curious and wanted me to ask you, was there anything that was like that you resisted a little bit when you first went virtual?
Yes. Well, one of the things that often happens in person is, like, let's say someone's having a difficult time understanding how to implement the mechanics of an exercise. At that point, I would ask permission, be like, can I touch your shoulder and adjust you to show you how to do it? Obviously, that's an impossibility online. So I've had to really work on my articulation so that people can understand how to do it, even when I can't do a hands-on adjustment.
That's a big adjustment indeed. And it's true that, you know, I was doing Pilates online all through the lockdown. Now I'm back to in person, and I really missed her being like, wait, not like this, you know, just a little tiny adjustment meant so much. So I get that. But at the same time, I'm sure you're able to get people, you know, on track, even just through Zoom and watching carefully what they're doing. Because you're not doing the workout, you're watching them to make sure they're doing it right, I assume.
Yes, during personal training, I'm not doing the workout. During classes, I am demonstrating the workout and getting my own workout in. Oh, and I just wanted to mention one more thing. What I love is that now that I am more focused during personal training, I have reduced the time of my sessions from 45 minutes personal training in person to 30 minutes online. Love that.
Interesting. And are you able to get them the same amount of workout? You probably are, right? Because it's like condensed.
Yes, we don't dilly-dally. We don't, you know, really quick check-in. How you doing? How's your body?
You don't mess around people being late, right?
No,
Nobody's
no,
late anymore.
No, yeah, people know my late policy. People show up on time, and again, there's no waiting for a machine or excuse me.
Right. Well, I also meant late, like, you know, the bus didn't come or whatever. Because Rudy was saying he's gotten all this time back because people used to show up late sometimes for training, not even always their fault. And now everyone's like right on time and they're saving time. So yeah, there are a lot of silver linings. Before we jump off, and this has been awesome, thank you so much for coming on. Would you have any tips for people who are not embracing, you know, going virtual and changing their businesses as much as you have? You've been so positive and on it. Any like things you learned, lessons learned that you might share with someone who's like, oh, I need to do what Bianca did, but I'm struggling a little bit?
Well, I think that in order to remain safe during the pandemic, you know, if you have the privilege to be able to go online, it is so much safer for you, for your clients, for your family. And I think that as the, you know, hopefully the end of the pandemic gets closer every day, there's nothing wrong with adopting the hybrid model. Doing some stuff in person and some stuff online. Perhaps the online stuff can be canned. It doesn't have to be live.
That's a good point. Not everyone's comfortable live like you are.
Yeah, I think that, you know, first establishing a clear, reasonable goal is obviously imperative. And then, you know, kind of removing the blinders and saying like, okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to consider it done. How can I make that happen with the technology that we have available to us today?
Yeah, that sounds like reverse engineering, right? Something we talk about a lot in masterclass is like, just decide I'm going to do it and then just go figure it out. Like you went and figured out all this tech, right? You had to order the lights and figure out the sound and the camera.
Exactly. Yeah. Make it work. Make it happen.
Awesome. And then if you don't know the answer, ask your community, right? So good for you for knowing, I need to be surrounded by other positive people who are going to pull me forward too, because you have your whole community leaning on you, but like, who do you get to lean on, right? So I'm so thrilled that you now have this group of fantastic women who we mentioned earlier, but we'll give them a shout out again, right? Elaine and
Yes.
Winnie and Dee, and who else was in your
Rika,
cohort? Rika, that's right.
Rabia.
Rabia, all your pals,
Yeah.
so that you can turn to them if you ever get stuck. So I would just say anybody watching at home who's like, well, I don't know if I can do what Bianca did. That sounds really major. If you have the right people around you, you absolutely can. And Bianca, congratulations on all the growth of your business. I hope it keeps going in that direction. I know it will. And when the weather gets warmer, I want more pictures of you on the boat with your dog.
Oh, you got it. Thank you so much for having me on, Julia. It's been so nice to reflect and reconnect with you and to speak with. We have 10 people in here. That's so cool.
I know, it's awesome. And you were so much fun to have on these CEO check-ins every week. You were on a lot of them just getting live coaching. So it's great that we've come full circle and now you're helping other people to grow their businesses. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Alrighty, have a great day. Thanks for teaching us that little workout. We'll think of you when we, stretch our shoulders later.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Have a great day, and remember to hold your stretch for a minimum of 30 seconds.
Thank you for the reminder. Bye, Bianca.
Bye, thank you.
Great to see you. Bye. Oh, awesome. Bianca always has such great energy. I always loved having her on CEO Check-In. She came on often just to get live coached. I think she, Rabia, and B, we were like on every week all during the pandemic. But it's fun to share her story. And if you want to see stories of other women from Million Dollar Women Masterclass, you can head over to my YouTube channel. It's Julia Pimsler Coach. We do interviews with some of our grads on there, so feel free to watch some of those stories. And these CEO Check-Ins are all on there. And please subscribe while you're there. We're so happy to have you in our community. I hope you'll remember to move today, go take a walk or get a workout, or even better, follow Bianca and consider taking some classes with her. Have a beautiful day, and don't forget, we are not thinking machines that feel, we are feeling machines that think. Take good care of yourself. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye.